Because there's two mistakes that we make when we're thinking about systems. We either think that we're not organized enough to create great systems, and that's what's holding us back in our business. Or the second mistake we make is that we focus on setting up systems instead of doing what's most important in our business. So we don't want to make either of those mistakes. Our goal in a business is always to make sure that the main thing's the main thing at all times. And in case you are catching this for the very first time, my name is April Bragg, and I am a clarity coach for gifted but overextended entrepreneurs. And this is a part of my series, Entrepreneurship for the Non-Entrepreneur Types. And you can catch the whole series. I've got a playlist created for that. So subscribe, enjoy, take what works for you, leave what doesn't. But when it comes to systems, systems are glorious when they work and frustrating when they don't. So I just want to simplify the whole idea of what is the point of creating systems. Systems can set us free in our business, but so many times we fall into the trap of overthinking them or waiting too long to set them up, or using a system that's not a good fit for us. And so in this video today, I want to talk about setting up systems that work for you, not somebody else, how to know, and the 3 signs that your systems are secretly sabotaging you. Oh my gosh. I set up a tongue twister in this video. How to create systems that feel light and sustainable and beneficial to you. And then the first system that every entrepreneur needs. So it's a system to create systems, just to be meta about it. And then I'm going to share with you my absolute favorite simple systems, okay? But most entrepreneurs build systems too early, or they copy somebody else's system, and then when it doesn't work, they feel frustrated and think that there's something wrong with them. And so then the system becomes this almost sabotage to them. But a system that isn't built on clarity about you, or that isn't built to serve how you work or how your business works and capacity, that will always burn out. Okay, so what is a system actually? A system is a repeatable process that frees up your time and mind or makes you more money. It saves you time, it saves you energy, or it makes you money. That's as simple as a system is. If it doesn't do one of those things, then it's not a very good system. It is probably a ritual, a habit, a requirement, red tape, paperwork. Hello, bureaucracy and government. I told my husband last week, I said, we have 3 open tax issues in our business. And it's pretty incredible because how do you get 3 at the same time? We've got one on the IRS level, one on the state level, and one from Tampa when our business was there. And so I got one of those closed. I'm still waiting to close the other 2. Those are somebody else's systems, and they are not serving me. I'm having to serve them. I'm having to give them requirements. I'm having to, provide paperwork that somebody has lost. Fortunately, I have systems that save me sanity, save me time. I have systems that back up that information. So even though their system is costing me time, my system of having all of my paperwork digital is saving me time, saving me sanity. So it's a good system. That means it's a great system. That means keep on doing that system. Okay, so here are the 3 signs that your system is sabotaging you instead of serving you. Number 1, you're working the system more than it's working you. Like I said, I'm working the IRS's system more than it's working for me. Number 2, You avoid using it because it feels overwhelming or rigid. It's just too hard to do. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter how many people it works for. If it requires more energy to do it than it gives you back on the back end, then it's not a great system. Sometimes the most basic system is me writing a sticky note real fast to capture something in my mind before it goes away. And then at the end of the day, I look through my sticky notes and then do something with it. My mind works really, really quickly. It has ideas very, very fast. I want to capture those in the moment and then move on from them, and then later evaluate what I want to do with those thoughts. So I am a huge, huge fan of the sticky note system. But I have a system to make sticky notes work for me instead of sabotaging me. All right. And the third sign that your system is sabotaging you is you created it to feel organized instead of creating it for results. Results being, it actually does save you time, or it actually does save you energy, or it does make you money somehow. I remember when I was back at working for the insurance company, they were investing in Salesforce. In fact, their parent company was investing in Salesforce, and Salesforce had created this customized CRM, customer management system for them. And they bit off way more than they can chew. They completely frustrated the end user because they were constantly changing it. I went to a training where they said our purpose is to roll out, a version and iterate and iterate and iterate. And that sounds great, but they tried to roll out a version with way too many moving parts. They promised way too much. And then they literally would change the framework of the structure, So one day it'd be looking like this, the interface would be looking like this, and then the next it'd be looking like something else. And it's just like, what is going on? It was not saving time. It was burning incredible amounts of energy. And it was distracting the poor agents from making money. So I remember I had to operate in two systems at the same time so that my agent that I was serving would be free to keep on making money. Now, here's a system that did serve us. I remember he came to me one day and he said, did you talk to so-and-so? And if so, how did that conversation go? And I said, you will always know if I've talked to somebody because I always put a note in there if I call them. I said, even if they don't answer and I just left a message, I put that in the note. So that's a system. It's a system that saves time, as in now the agent that I was working for can know for sure if I've talked to somebody or not and what we talked about. It doesn't have to come hunting me down. It saves me time, it saves me energy because he doesn't have to interrupt me on the task that I'm doing because he can look at the notes himself. The system started failing in the new system when it became so hard to look up that information. It became more hard instead of more easy. So ideally, a system saves you time, saves you energy, or makes you money. If it's not doing one of those things, you don't need it. You just don't need it. Now, sometimes a system while you're setting it up can take a little bit more time, but it's going to have the promise of saving you time on the back end. So, for example, if you're writing a training manual, or if you're explaining to somebody else how you do a certain thing, then the time it takes to write it down takes time, but the time it saves on the backside should be exponentially larger than what it did on the front side. So just remember that systems are simple, very, very simple. If you think, how can I save time? How can I save energy? Or how can I make money? I always say that a good system should either be making you more money or giving you back more peace, as in allowing your brain to shut off. So anytime that a client comes to me and says, I'm thinking about my business all the time, I can't stop thinking about it, I know that they're in need of systems, because they need good systems that allow them to stop thinking about their business during the hours they don't want to think about their business. So an example of a bad system is one that you have to constantly remember in your head. A good system takes it out of your head, puts it on paper, or puts it on the computer. Okay? So if a system doesn't help you execute better and faster, it's just not a system that's working for you. I don't care who else says you need it. All right, so now let me talk to you about the system to make systems. Very, very meta. If you know me at all, you know that I get a kick out of that. All right, so there's 3 steps. Clarity first, and then we're going to create lightly, and then we're going to commit and adjust. So clarity first. What's the goal here? What is the goal of the system? What is the result we're trying to create? Like I just said with the insurance example, I had the goal of eliminating the need for my agent to ask me, did you call this person? Saving him time, saving me time. Always there's instant communication about any client right there in the database. So what's the goal? Then create lightly. What's the simplest possible version of a repeatable process? Listen, make it as easy as possible. When I did the whole, this is how you'll know that I've talked to somebody, is because I left a note. When I said he asked me, what does LM stand for? And I said, oh, I thought it was obvious. Left message. Systems are great when you're setting them up for yourself and you understand all your abbreviations. Sometimes you have to create a shared language around systems if you're going to keep on using those. So create lightly. Make it as easy as possible. When I share my systems, I'll share a couple. Well, in fact, I just shared one of my systems, one of my favorite systems, which is to use sticky notes. That is a version of create lightly. It only takes, I always have a sticky pad in front of me. I always have a pen in front of me. And as I'm talking, or if somebody's talking to me and something that's a little bit off track, or, ooh, I want to remember it. I grab it, I write a quick note down, I get back into the topic, I stay focused. At the end of the day, I just look at my notes. Y'all, this is a hilarious system for me, because if you'll look on my desk, sometimes I'll have like 10 or 12 sticky notes that I vaguely, barely remember even writing them down, but when I go back, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that was that idea, and so I put that there, and then I sort my ideas to where they need to go. All right, create lightly. What's the simplest way? It might be a sticky note. And then commit and adjust. Use it, then refine it based on how it feels and functions over time. So make it a 1 or 2 step process, and then use it for a while and see if it's working for you. If it's not, then adjust it. Make it do something different. The simpler you make it, the easier it'll be to use it, and then the more you'll use and the more you'll benefit from it. All right, I think these steps will become a lot clearer as I talk about some of the systems that I've created. But remember, clarity first. What's the end result that you're trying to create? Is it to save time, to save energy, make more money? Then create lightly. What's the simplest way we can put this into action? And then let's practice and adjust. All right, so here are some of my systems. Number 1, sticky notes. Already said that. Number 2, simple lists. On my computer, there is a reminders app. It's native to Mac. It's on my computer. It's on my phone. I keep very simple lists in there. So here are my favorite lists. I have a shopping list, as in, Anytime I think, oh, I need, a new pair of pants or a new pair of shoes or, something that's not typical, something that I need to go look for. When it pops in my mind, I put it on the list. Then when we're going out shopping, I already have a list of all the things that I had identified that I needed before. Another list is a packing list. I took like less than 10 minutes, maybe just 5, to create a comprehensive packing list as I was packing for a trip one time. As I packed it, I put it on the list. Now I just have that list, and so I go ahead and pack, and then I glance over my list to see if I've missed anything. I have been using that list for over a year now, almost 2 maybe. Saved me so much time, saved me so much money actually, because I haven't had to buy things I have forgotten to pack anymore, because I'm like, oh yeah, charger right there. I don't need to buy a new charger. I packed my charger. All right, what's another list? I should just look at my lists to see the list that I make. Oh, movies and shows and books that are recommended to me. When somebody mentions them, I put them right there. And then when I'm in the mood to watch something new or read something new, then I've got a list going on. This is going to sound like an odd one. My brand hex numbers. So many times I need to know what the colors are on my brand. And I just finally create a list of all those codes, and now I can copy them wherever I need them or send them to somebody. And then I have one to-do list, and that catches everything, but it also catches the urgent things. So like if something needs to be done by a certain date, I put a date on it. Otherwise, it's just to be done on my next administration day. That's a system. Oh, there's another system I just identified. I hate switching between creative brain and admin brain. So I do all of my coaching and like live video creation on certain days, and then I do all my admin work on other days. So usually on Mondays and Fridays are the admin type. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is my creative brain. That's a system. Super simple. I tested it. It works for me. Kept it going. So now all my schedules, that's how you can book calls with me is, on my creative days, not my admin days. Oh, another simple system. I started this about 5 years ago and I've never gone back. I calendarize every single appointment the second it's made. Don't even care if I start doing this with my hairdresser. And she's trying to give me one of those to-do or appointment cards. And it's like, don't even need it. I'm putting it in my calendar right now. Here's why systems work. If you commit, once you start the system, to doing it 100% of the time, then it will create ease and peace for you. If you only do it 99% of the time, you'll always be wondering, did I follow my system or not? Of all the system tips I can ever share with you, it's this: be 100% committed to your simple system. Make it so simple that it's easy to do, and then be 100% committed to it, at least during the trial phase. So like I said, when I decided I'm switching to a digital calendar, then I put my appointments in my calendar, and every single appointment. If it's an appointment, it got put into the calendar. And then I remind myself, it's in my calendar, it's in my calendar. Trust that it's in my calendar. I promise, it will, when you're creating the system and starting the system, it'll feel just a smidge slower on the front side. But the promised peace and time savings on the back side will be exponential. I promise you that. But I can only make that 100% guarantee if you use it 100% of the time, okay? So commit or don't do it at all, okay? Be all in or all out. There is no in between. So that was the one thing about that I had to keep on reinforcing when I was working for my agent, was that when I said I made a note for every single call that I made, I meant 100% of the time. And he's like, I didn't see a note for this. And I said, I haven't called them yet. Or what about this? And it's like, if there's no note, it didn't happen. If there is a note, it did happen. 100%. And he struggled to understand that concept because he struggled with the idea of 100% consistency with something. But let me tell you, that's the reason why you have to keep it super simple. Because if you cannot promise yourself that you've been 100% consistent with it, that you can't give yourself the gift of peace afterwards when your brain's like, did you? Did you really? Do we need to double check? And you're trying to just relax and watch a movie with your family, and they're like, but did you? Did you really do that? So give yourself the gift of 100% consistency. That it might sound like it's the hardest thing to do, but it's actually the most beneficial thing. It's the greatest gift you'll give yourself. It's the most simplifying gift you'll give yourself, is to be 100% consistent with that. And if because like even if I'm not consistent, I am making way big notes. Like for some reason, imagine this. I went to my hairdresser and she scheduled my next appointment and I didn't have my phone on me. Well, number one, I don't know how I would schedule my next appointment because I wouldn't know what was free or not. I would have to create a whole new system on the fly. I'd be like, okay, give me the appointment card and I am going to hang on to this. And I mean, like, I would literally put it in a visible place, next to my car keys, I guess, in my purse. And I will call you as soon as I get home and make sure that appointment works. And I would get back to my system as soon as possible. I've never done that, but I'm just thinking this out loud. All right, so don't build systems to prove that you're organized. Also, this is the big mistake. Do not build systems that actually detract from making money. So many times, this is the big mistake that new entrepreneurs make, is they try to organize their business before they truly have a business. Do your income producing activities first, do your IPAs, and then build systems on the backside. So a lot of times there's only so many people that we might be able to reach out to, or only so many things that we can do to, generate income. Like maybe I can only send out a couple of posts or make up so many phone calls, either before I'm tapped out of energy or before I've run out of leads. Do that first. And then with all the extra time that you have left, switch to creating systems that will serve you to save time, make more money. So this is very, very important if you find yourself being an entrepreneur and you are very much the coming out of the career mindset or the employee mindset. It's going to be very, very tempting to comfort yourself in creating systems that don't actually create results. And if you need help creating systems that either give you more time, more energy, more peace of mind, or make you more money instead of costing you money, and you would like some personalized help with that, you can go into the description below, and I've put a link there to my Connect page, and on that Connect page you can book a clarity call. So this is for entrepreneurs who already have a business, but they're feeling overextended in it, and they know that it's keeping them from doing their best work or making their money, or it's leading to burnout, and we don't want that to happen. All right, so systems or sabotage, because just because it's a system doesn't mean that's not sabotaging your money-making abilities. Systems are great if they're helping you. Don't let them hold you back. And make sure, if you have any questions, put it in the comments. I'll be glad to circle back and address anything, any gaps that I left. All right, this is video 4 of the entrepreneurship for the non-entrepreneur types. I hope that you have enjoyed this series. If you've missed any of the videos, then look under the playlist. And if there's any other topics on this series that you'd like to see addressed, leave a comment about that too. But otherwise, I am going to be moving on to a new series this month. And it's going to be talking about how to drop the hustle mentality. How to seriously break free from the hustle mentality. So in a way that makes us truly more fruitful on the backside. All right? So I hope you'll join us for that. And in closing, I hope you have a great week. Bye-bye.